Hey, what's up, guys? Today is December 26, 2024. I'm back at you guys again with Podcast Diaries. Today is another day, and I'm here to talk to you guys about a whole new topic. We're going to go a different direction today. Today, we're going to actually talk about true crime. This is something that happened back in 2023, December 5th of 2023. I'm going to basically comment on the video that I found on YouTube. I've watched it multiple times, came up with my conclusion. I'm not a private detective. I'm not a private detective. I'm not police officer. I'm not one of those entities. But however, I do have wisdom and knowledge about what I think might have happened. And I'm pretty sure there are some people who share the same similar opinion or similar thoughts that I might have, but I'm going to give you a small commentary on this crime. But basically, on December 5th, 2013, a young doctor named Teleka Patrick, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I apologize to her family. I would like to send my condolences out to her family. I still think about this case even in 2024. The first time I ever watched this was back in 2023. And I've watched it a few times since then. But this crime happened on December 5th, 2013. A young doctor named Teleka Patrick vanished from the side of a highway, I-94, in the middle of the night. And it's been a mystery since then. This case happened in Kalamazoo. It's just weird because, I went to college my freshman year in Kalamazoo. And, this case kind of like touches me because she's a young black woman just like me, with feelings, emotions. She's a person too, and I just hope that the police find out what really happened to this young lady. But I am going to this video is actually 20 something minutes long. It's actually 25 minutes long. I just say 26 minutes. So I'm going to let it play. And while it's playing, I'm going to pause it and give you my thoughts on it. And then I would like you guys to give me, feedback on what you think might have happened. What do you think is the cause? What do you think happened to this young lady? What do you think actually happened to her? Like, no one knows what happened to this woman. Like, still till today, no one knows. And I feel so terribly sad and heartbroken for her family. Like, even though I don't know who she is, I don't know what happened to her, I've never met her before, I don't know who she is, but I just know that it touched my heart because I'm a young black woman just like her, and justice needs to be done for this family and for this young lady. But we're gonna get right into it.
Sandra 3000 Casey, its creator.
Let's rewind it.
Hi, baby. How are you? It's me.
And if you hear a woman's voice, that's her voice. This is a podcast, so of course you can't see her face, but I'm going to put a link to the video to this podcast, so that way you can check this video out and you watch it yourself, and you can go back to what I'm saying and what the guy is saying that made the video. But yeah, these are small videos of her that she made and uploaded on YouTube. She's a YouTuber, and she's a YouTuber that vanished.
Teleka, your munchkin.
November 6th, 2013, a video was uploaded to an obscure YouTube channel called Sandra 3000 Casey. Its creator, 30-year-old Teleka Patrick.
It's Teleka.
Its purpose, to send a heartfelt message to her lover.
I am dressed up for you. And I bought flowers. Look. Flowers.
A message that would go unreceived, however, with the only viewership coming from Teleka herself. November 10th, 2013. Just 4 days after posting her first heartfelt video, Teleka uploads what would become her final video.
If you were here, this is what would be your plate.
Again dedicating it to her love, and again going completely unnoticed, falling into the void that is YouTube, and settling into the endless depths of the site, presumably never to be seen again. Or at least that's how it should have gone. In reality, these videos would eventually be put on display for the whole world to see, as nearly a month following her very first upload, Teleka Patrick would disappear, leaving behind a minute trail of clues, the most prominent of which coming from her previously unknown channel, as it would quickly be discovered that things within these videos were nothing like how they seemed, giving rise to what would quickly become one of the strangest internet mysteries of all time.
This just gets stranger and stranger.
The very strange new wrinkle in the case of that missing doctor in Michigan, Teleka Patrick.
Just imagine that you're here with me, even though I know that you're not.
Before we fully dive into this, I want to first thank our sponsor, Manscaped, the global leader in men's grooming tools and hygiene solutions. Proper hygiene.
Okay, so right at this moment, he's just, giving an advertisement, but I'm going to comment on earlier video, on the early part of the video. In the early parts of the video, she is recording herself cooking for a man that she claims is her lover. Now, the world probably sees her as delusional, crazy. Fine. That's understandable. But we really don't know what happened. Maybe there really was a man that she was involved with at the time. And she just never posted him on her channel, on her YouTube channel. A lot of people are saying, well, is she delusional? Is she crazy? I don't think so. So, I don't know.
December 5th, 2013, Teleka Patrick spends her day at the Borges Medical Center in downtown Kalamazoo, working there as a first-year medical resident. The young doctor was described as being incredibly bright by her colleagues, with an extremely promising future ahead, and to those who knew her, she was a fun-loving and just overall great person to be around. However, for whatever reason on this particular day, Teleka's personality seemed different. Upon her shift coming to an end, Teleka would ask a coworker for a ride located just a few miles away. Her request seemed strangely frantic, almost pushy, and sensing that something may be wrong, the coworker agreed to take her there, dropping her off at the entrance before driving away. From there, cameras show as Teleka attempts to rent a room, only to be turned away as she didn't have enough money or a proper ID, with the young woman having left her wallet back at her job. During this conversation, the employees at the front desk noticed that Teleka appeared on edge and slightly incoherent, prompting a receptionist to ask if she was okay. But Teleka brushed aside the concern and eventually left the hotel. Outside, Teleka entered the hotel's complimentary shuttle, asking the driver to drop her back off at the Borges so she could retrieve her wallet, return, and then pay for her room. But when the driver eventually pulled into the parking lot of the hospital, Teleka nervously turned to him and said, "I can't go back there with you," before rushing off, ducking her head between parked vehicles as if she was attempting to hide from someone. Off at the entrance before driving away. From there, cameras show as Teleka attempts to rent a room, only to be turned away as she didn't have enough money or a proper ID, with the young woman having left her wallet back at her job. During this conversation, the employees at the front desk noticed that Teleka appeared on edge and slightly incoherent, prompting a receptionist to ask if she was okay. But Teleka brushed aside the concern and eventually left the hotel. Outside, Teleka entered the hotel's complimentary shuttle, asking the driver to drop her back off at the Borges so she could retrieve her wallet, return, and then pay for her room. But when the driver eventually pulled into the parking lot of the hospital, Teleka nervously turned to him and said, "I can't go back there with you," before rushing off, ducking her head between parked vehicles as if she would...
Okay, so she left her wallet at her job. The hotel employee stated that she didn't sound coherent, so she was either on some drugs, whether it be weed or pills. Maybe she popped some pills, or maybe she was, tipsy, but they didn't say she was tipsy. I don't believe with her degree and her job, she'd be taking, drugs. So I don't think she was taking drugs, but we don't know. They never really said anything in regards to her autopsy, And I'm saying too much before you guys actually fully hear what happened. But that's another thing. The shuttle bus driver. That's one suspect. The shuttle bus driver. Why does she feel like she can't go back there with him? What's going on in her head? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's already off already. She can't go back with the shuttle bus driver. Why not? Her coworker is the second suspect. Because those were, you gotta put into consideration who was in close contact with her that day. Her coworker was, the shuttle bus driver was, and the hotel employees were. That's what we know of as of today, who was in close proximity to her before she disappeared.
Attempting to hide from someone, the driver then watched as she got into her car and pulled off into the night. He would be the last known person to ever speak to her. On the road, Teleka began driving frantically at extremely high speeds, weaving in and out of traffic, displaying signs that again seemed to indicate that she was potentially being followed, and that she was trying to evade someone or something. Her driving became so erratic that a concerned motorist would call the police and report her vehicle. But before the authorities could arrive, Teleka's front left tire on her 1997 Lexus would burst, forcing the car off the road before it came to a stop in the dead of the night, stranding her 100 miles away from her home. Teleka then grabbed the keys from her ignition, exited the vehicle, and was never seen again.
The application of your emergency, just want to know.
It's on I-94, the westbound lane. There's a car on the road down to the ditch.
Within minutes, police officers would discover her car parked alongside a ditch, and upon searching the vehicle, all they would find were her personal belongings like her wallet, cash, and a cell phone, but no sign of Teleka herself. Authorities would go on to search the entire area for...
Okay. It's like every time I watch this video, I learn something new every time. Just in the beginning of the video, the man said her wallet, she did not have it on her. She left it at her job. So, in between the time the shuttle bus driver, she went back to the shuttle bus driver. She told him he or she, whatever she told them. And between that time to her getting to her car, when did she go back to get her wallet? Did she have two wallets? Did she have one with her? And then did she have one that she took to work? Now they're saying that when the police found her vehicle alongside the road, they found her wallet and other personal items. But they just said in the beginning of the video, the beginning of this investigation, they said that she didn't have her wallet on her at the hotel. Hence why she didn't have enough money to pay for the room. So I'm confused. I mean, did she just say that she didn't have a wallet just to say that? I mean, what was really going on? I'm starting to wonder, maybe was she under the influence of something, or did she have a manic episode? Mental illness is a very serious thing, but we're going to go ahead and continue.
Miles around, including the shores of a nearby lake, but found nothing. And with no sign of the young doctor, Teleka Patrick was officially declared missing on the 6th of December. Leading up to her disappearance, everyone who came into contact with Teleka that night all shared a similar story. Something was clearly off with her. She seemed nervous, even terrified, prompting some to immediately conclude that foul play was involved, and that perhaps she had somehow been hunted down. To address this theory, police dogs would be brought in to track her scent trail, which bizarrely led them from her open car door directly to the side of the road before coming to an abrupt stop, seemingly insinuating that someone had picked her up, willingly or unwillingly. Adding to the suspicious nature of her disappearance, the night prior, Teleka had called a friend of hers named James Davis, who was living in St. Louis at the time, and explained to him that she believed someone was trying to kill her, and that she needed to get away from Kalamazoo to go visit him. And it's believed that she was driving to St. Louis to meet Davis immediately before she vanished, perhaps confirming that her concerns were in fact warranted. Given the nature of her vanishing, the story of Teleka Patrick immediately became a viral news story, with a search effort quickly being launched to determine what had happened to her. But early on, this would yield little to no results, as much like the air on that winter night, her trail grew deathly cold. However, on the internet, a new trail was forming.
My love is you.
Frustrated by the lack of answers in person, investigators started digging into the online history of Teleka Patrick, which led them to their most important discovery yet, her YouTube channel. Going by the name of Sandra3000KC, Teleka would publish a series of 9 videos within the span of 1 week in early November 2013, with one of the most infamous being a clip titled My Awesome Day, where she sits in front of her camera and addresses